Adobe kills Flash, Canon is a beast, Nook tablet, and more. This is Tech Dose. So this week Barnes & Noble announced the Nook tablet. Now this is a competitor for Amazon's $200 Kindle Fire. It looks the same as a Nook color but it's slightly lighter. It's an 8-inch device with a 7-inch IPS display, which is the same type of display as the iPad. Has a dual-core processor with 1GB of RAM and a 16GB of memory. You can play 1080p video really smoothly. There's no front and back cameras, which is kind of disappointing. But I don't think tablets should have cameras anyway because it feels weird to actually record a video, but that's my opinion. You can double tap the home button and it will show a list of core apps like the browser and settings. You can just click on them and it will switch straight over to them. It's kind of like with the iPhone, you double tap the home button and it shows you like your recent apps. It's like app switching. One feature they were showing off is that it has Netflix and Hulu preloaded. It looks really nice, fast and reliable. It's $250, which is kind of expensive, and it loses against the Kindle Fire's $200, which looks so amazing, and it's coming out in a couple of weeks. So Canon is in fact a beast. They released two new cameras. One is a Canon C300, which is the cinema camera, and the Canon EOS 1DX, which is a DSLR that films as well. So first of all, the Canon C300, it has a super 35mm sensor, which is insane. So basically it's like an imitation of 35mm film. Obviously won't be quite as good, but it's still going to be amazing. It's got a minimum ISO of 320, which I think is like quite high for a minimum ISO. Usually it's like 100. But it's a cinema camera, so I guess that's still pretty low. Maximum ISO of 20,000. Which is pretty high. It's pretty high. The fastest shutter speed is 2000, and it's got a display size of 4-inch. Got a built-in viewfinder, and the max resolution of filming is 1080p, which I'm a bit surprised at. I'm surprised it's not like 2K or 4K, seeing as it's a cinema camera, but I guess that's in the future. It's got quite a lot of frame rates. It's got 23.98, 24, 25, 29.97, 50 and 59.94. You can either have it in a Canon EF or a PL mount, so you can choose between the two. It takes two compact flash cards at the same time, so you can write to both of them, so you got like extra room, and if one crashes you still got the second one, which is always handy. It's got a microphone input, which is good seeing as a cinema camera because you want to be able to have better microphones than the onboard microphone, and it's going to go for about $20,000, so quite a lot. And the Red Scarlet's going to be about 10 grand, so it's like, do you want a Canon camera or a Red camera? So it's a bit tricky, and the Scarlet films in like 2K, so I don't know which one I'd go for. So now moving on to the Canon EOS 1DX. This camera is said to take over from the 5D Mark II, which is pretty cool, but it's a lot more money, so it'll probably take a while for a lot more people to film on it. So it has an 18.1 CMOS sensor. To be honest, that is quite low megapixel, because the 5D Mark II's got 21.1 megapixel and this has only got 18.1. But I guess it's still a very good sensor. It's got a minimum ISO of 100 and a maximum ISO of 204,800. It's insane! That's so high.
That's mad.
And it's got 14 frames per second continuous shooting, so that's stills, so that is still very insane. So I think they're probably pointing this camera more towards the sport people, because 14 frames per second is like a lot of pictures taken in a second. It's got a 3.2 inch display and a 1080p max resolution for filming, and it's going to be about $6,800. So it's a lot of money for a camera that honestly doesn't sound that much better than a 5D Mark II. So, but hopefully we will see the 5D Mark II come down in price, so I can get one. Come down in price a lot, which would be good.
Last story, Google announced pages for businesses and companies on Google+. So now they can create a brand account on Google+, which will let you get to post and follow people just like a normal Google Plus account, but it will be just for a brand. And speaking of Google Plus pages, we now have a page for Tech Dose on Google Plus. So head over to the link in the description below to follow us. We will post the latest Tech Dose video and debate about news, rumours, and maybe do hangouts if we have a lot of followers.
So go and follow us on Google+.
On to more camera news. There's a new GoPro HD Hero. Got a 11 megapixel CMOS sensor, which is pretty high for such a small camera. It's got a 4 recording resolutions, 1080p, 960p, 720p and WVGA. Those will probably be affected with the frame rates you're recording in. There's 4 frame rates, 120 frames per second, which is insane for such a small camera, 60 frames per second, 48 and 30. But I've heard that 120 frames is filmed in WVGA, so it's not the best quality, but like I said, the frame rates usually affect the resolution that you record in. It's got a biggest aperture of 2.8, which is pretty big for such a small camera, which means it's just going to get a lot more light in, so it'll be a bit better in low light and just all round a little bit more depth of field and just all round a bit better really. There's a video that you can go watch, there'll be a link in the description, of just like lots of testing shots and like the promotion video. You can go watch that, it's amazing, the quality's insane and there's just some really cool shots, so go and watch that.
A massive piece of news this week in technology. Adobe have released news that they're stopping development on Flash for mobile.
What?
Yeah. Which is mainly for Android devices. And they released this statement: HTML5 is now universally supported on major mobile devices, in some cases exclusively. That makes HTML5 the best solution for creating and deploying content on the browser across mobile platforms. So it's good to see HTML finally win, and Flash is going away, but it still will be on the desktop, don't worry. You can still watch your YouTube videos and watch live streams and everything, games and everything to do with Flash, and horrible websites that's all made out of Flash. There's a lot of horrible websites out there and I hope they die, and they will die. Yeah.
So just another little thing, Modern Warfare 3 has come out, I have got it, it's right here, it's amazing, it's really fun. It's like all the maps are reasonably sized, but it's all really close quarters, so it's like constantly, it's just really fast paced, which is a lot more how I like to play. I get a bit bored of playing tactically, apart from in Battlefield, that just seems to work somehow. But yeah, it's just really fun. Comment below on if you like it or if it's a bit of a disappointment. I think it's definitely better than Black Ops, but leave your suggestions and your feelings below and your opinions, and we will read them.
So what was your favourite piece of news in this video? Please comment down below and tell us what you think about it. Maybe about the Flash, maybe about the cameras, maybe about the Nook, and maybe about Modern Warfare 3. If you like it, if you hate it, comment down below. So our Twitters, all of our Google Plus and news links are in the description below, so go and check them out. Please subscribe for more weekly injection of tech news. Hope you're high on tech. Booyah!
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Please. Cool.
Yeah.